I love Leeds.
Keep looking north,
I think
guys.
that is
This is
real
where it's all happening.
special thing about Leeds. We have got a lot of, where we knock on the next door neighbour to check they're okay.
I have a real passion for young people in our city, particularly those who don't have the necessary qualifications, skills to get jobs. And, for me, I believe that one of the things I'm doing is, along with the private sector, along with the public sector and the voluntary sector, is help to provide opportunity for young people to get the jobs that are being created in our city today. And if you're really serious about tackling all that, you need to work in partnership. And one of the strengths of Leeds Initiative is that it brings together all those partners, along with the private sector, to make sure we all work together, focus together on those communities, on those individuals, so that we can address those needs that are clearly obvious when you go and visit communities that we all know are in this city. And I want it to be a city that everybody talks about in this country as a place where they want to live and where they want to work or where they want to stay. And I want it to feel a city where everybody feels comfortable in terms of their own security, their own welfare and their own future.
My name's Jane Earnshaw and I run the I Love West Leeds Festival. We've been working in West Leeds for 7 years now, taking arts activities and events right to people on their doorsteps. There's no art centres or theatres in West Leeds, so what we do, we're a non-venue based arts organisation. So we like to take stuff right to where people live and work, and the arts are an incredible tool for making people think. They can make us laugh, they can make us cry, they can also challenge us and challenge us to think differently. And the arts are fantastic at just getting people to talk to each other. By talking to each other about the arts, they're talking to people in their community, and it's all about getting us together. For me, an ideal city of Leeds would be something where there's stuff going on all over Leeds, involving the community, involving artists, people working together, people getting outside of their homes and claiming the streets and their parks and everything for themselves. The thing that motivates me most is every day I go to work, I get to meet new people who are inspiring, they're passionate about what they do, and that inspires me.
I think the best thing about Leeds is that people are friendly, people like to engage, it's got a real good community spirit, people want to support each other, and there's many opportunities for people to access services, events, entertainment in the local community and citywide. And we've got lots of opportunities here that we don't always recognise because we live in the city and they're there on our doorstep. For the people that I specifically work with, which is older people, I think that we're well advanced in older people's services. They've not just got to a stage where they stay at home and don't engage with people.
It means a lot because you get out. There's a point to your day. Friday once a month we have a meeting in here for reminiscence. And we do all sorts of things, It's just fun.
The face of the city is drastically changing, and that means that a lot of the concerns older people have is that memories are lost. So when we do, for example, the intergenerational work, then photographs can come out and the older people can show the young people. So it's keeping the history in the community, and I think that is a real special thing about Leeds. We have got a lot of, where we knock on the next door neighbour to check they're okay.
For me, the perfect Leeds would be that everybody, all the residents of this vibrant city feel part of the society and make a positive and an effective contribution towards the city that they live in. We were perhaps the first mosque where we engaged in Christian and Muslim dialogue by offering an Eid and Christmas party where the Christian brothers and sisters are invited to the mosque, and they all contribute by bringing food and have a chat and share the commonalities and look at how we are as one community. We use sport as a method to engage the Muslim and Jewish young men to become young leaders. I believe that religious teachings of God is a way of life for me as an individual, and that is something that encourages me and motivates me to want to bring peace and harmony in the city that I live in and I was born in.
I think Leeds is a really great city, and I think there's so much diversity here. I think that's one of my favourite things about living here. You know, it's apparently one of the most sort of ethnically diverse cities in the whole of the UK, and I think it's really important for the communities to continue sort of meeting each other. Left Bank is an art space and a space that's used for the local community. I used to rehearse nearby here in a band, and I think there are a few places for arts in Leeds, but most of them are concentrated in the city centre, and there's not really much kind of on the outskirts of Leeds. So I think this is a really good project. I did a performance here with my band, and just seeing the sort of cross-section of people here was really amazing. I think of it really as a meeting place for artists, for somewhere that's going to support you know, artists and musicians and people who work in the community. I love Leeds, and I've always lived here. I can see myself sort of always living here. You know, I travel with my work and I go all over the world, and it's good to be able to come back here and see that so much is happening, that it's constantly in a state of flux, that it's constantly developing. And so seeing Left Bank and the fact it's just beginning is like just seeing a little seed of, you know, some new life, and then you hear about other projects other people are doing, and it's just great to see so much hope being invested in the city.
Leeds Best City means to me that there's opportunity for getting involved with things and community, a stronger community. I'm the director of Dance Action Zone Leeds, which is a dance charity based here in Leeds. We're providing dance opportunities in lots of the disadvantaged areas and communities across the city for young people aged 3 to 25, and now even adults are getting involved in the dance activities. We do that through community development, getting families involved, looking at local areas, looking at the grassroots level and what they're needing, so what's happening right now. So if it's street dance or cheerleading, then we'll put on activities for young people around the type of things that they want to do. We get the community involved through like galas and performances, and the parents' involvement has a real strong element of what the work does, because without them we wouldn't be able to run. So I suppose it's about having dance opportunities and bringing the whole community together to share that. It's about anyone who's got an interest in dance and nurturing that so they can deliver back into their community. Leeds Best City for dance.
Leeds is a fabulous place to be doing anything a bit new, a bit different, a bit fresh, because there is a real willingness to engage with something different and a real community spirit that gets behind and lifts that up. Leeds is an amazing place to run Create. We're a social enterprise that runs great food businesses and trains great people. We think that what leads to a really good independent lifestyle for somebody is work. So we take people from the most vulnerable areas of our local community, the ex-homeless, people who've been in prison, people with addiction problems, and we get them back to work. In not that many years' time, rather than celebrating those businesses that do have a conscience, we'll be denigrating those that don't. And the bottom line is those businesses that do business for good are those that are most profitable anyway. That, you know, making a profit and doing good are not mutually exclusive. And in the last 12 months, we've won 10 major awards. It's time that people in the south of the country started to look up north and to realise that here in Leeds, there's some fabulous work going on. Create's just one of the organisations that's transforming our local community.
I think the demands that are on us now mean that we do need to step up a gear in terms of our ambition. And Leeds has all the prerequisites of being a great city and being the best city in the UK. And I think if we can work together really effectively to make the most of our economy, but do much more, I think, to address the inequalities in the city and make sure that those people who can only look at the wealth that's in the city centre, for example, but don't get to see anything more of that, if we can get those people into jobs, into training, and be ambitious around things like bidding for the Tour de France to start in Leeds in 2016, making the most of the Olympics when it comes here, making the most of the when it comes to London, obviously, and we celebrate the torch coming round, making the most of the great assets we've got like Northern Ballet and the West Yorkshire Playhouse and Opera North, but also the sporting heritage of the city, get Leeds United back in the Premiership. Even though I'm a Middlesbrough fan, I'd like them to come second in the Championship this year behind Middlesbrough and get promoted. But also I think do much more for those people in the city who need our help the most.
Well, I think Leeds is such a vibrant city, and obviously being a local boy, I'm biased. I think the city centre is amazing for shopping and restaurants, and it's a brilliant place to live. Us at the Rhinos have been very successful, and hopefully Leeds United can start being successful. I think that definitely brings the community together when you've got a successful, sporting team in the city. To pull on the blue and yellow jersey, blue and amber jersey for Leeds is special every time that I do that, and I'm really proud to represent my city and my country in my sport. We're definitely heavily involved in the community, and it's great that the players can go out and give something back to the local community and the kids that sort of look up to our players. I'm an ambassador for the Leeds Men Cap. It's a great honour that I think it's been just over 6 months now that I've been an ambassador, and just try and help out as much as I can. Really, I've played sport all my life, and I think it definitely helped me as a person, and I think the more people we can get involved in it, and I think the better the city will be as a whole. I'm really proud to be from Leeds and grown up and lived all my life in Leeds so far, and I think the city is developing really fast, and it's definitely the capital of the north for me, and I think, like I said before, as long as the sport teams are really successful, I think that brings a big cheer to the city as well, and I think it's a fantastic city to live at.
I think there are a number of factors which will make Leeds the best city. It's been recognised by various surveys as being one of the friendliest cities to do business in, as one of the best cities to do business in. We also have the accolade of being one of the greenest cities in the whole of the UK. Business isn't just about making profit, it's about creating something which is sustainable for the long term, which has something for everyone. It's not the responsibility of just one sector in the Leeds business community, it's the responsibility of all of us. The public sector, the private sector, the third sector.
For Leeds to be the best city in the UK would mean for me vibrant neighbourhoods and communities, thriving communities, not just a vibrant city centre, but actually things happening out there in the communities and everybody being happy and healthy where they live. Zest Health for Life is a voluntary sector organisation established in 2002, and we work to address health inequalities in some of the most disadvantaged communities in Leeds. Ministry of Food Leeds is a Zest managed project, and with support from the Jamie Oliver Company, we aim to teach people in Leeds basic cooking skills. Ministry of Food is aimed at all ages, and I guess one of the lovely unexpected outcomes has been how different age groups and different ethnicities have mixed together and forged friendships and had a laugh over 10 weeks. Primarily we're here to teach people to cook, but there's been some lovely outcomes around people meeting each other and making friends and realising that people with a disability or people from another age group are not the enemy and they're not impossible to talk to and be friends with. Ministry of Food sources all its ingredients from the market, and we encourage our students to do the same. Wouldn't it be absolutely wonderful if Leeds had the reputation for being a city full of happy, thriving communities? I'd be so proud of that.
I love Leeds.
Keep looking north, guys, because this is where it's all happening.
Real special thing about Leeds. We have got a lot of, where we knock on the next door neighbour to check they're okay.